Good morning, students. Hope you all are well. So, today we are going to start the first chapter of class 11 biology, that is, biodiversity and the biological classification. So, biodiversity means it is the different types of animals, means it is the different types of living animals, its enormous variety, and the staggering diversity in our world. Okay, so scientists almost identified 1.7 to 1.8 million species of the living organisms. But if we have to identify the species, we have to make a group so that it is easy for us to identify different types of species. For that, it comes to the biological classification. So, biological classification is the process by which all the living organisms, means from plants to animals, from microorganisms and all. So, these organisms are categorized into easily identifiable groups. Okay, and that is based on, means the grouping that is based on some observed characters. So, the scientific term that used for this particular categories, they are known as taxa. So like plants, animals, bacteria, all are included in separate groups or in separate taxa. Now let's see what is the history of this biological classification. So Hippocrates and Aristotle, they classified the living organisms into only two groups, that is plants and animals, on the basis of some very common characters. But that is not the proper one, that is not the proper grouping. And through that grouping only of plants and animals, we cannot identify all the organisms, because there are microorganisms and other different kind of organisms. At last, Carolus Linnaeus, the scientist, who is known as the father of taxonomy, he introduced a system of naming or grouping of the organisms. Okay, this system of naming of plants and animals is known as binomial system of nomenclature, and he described all his works in the book Systema Naturae. So why we need this biological classification? Do we need this biological classification? Yes, we need this biological classification. So as you know that there are almost 1.8 million of organisms or living organisms are present there, so we have to classify them. So through the biological classification, we can identify the organisms, we can see the relationship among different groups of organism, between different taxa, how this relationship is going on. It also helps us to identify the fossil organism. So there are three systems of classification: artificial system of classification, natural system, and the phylogenetic or the evolutionary system. So what is artificial system of classification? So this type of classification was discovered by Pliny, the scientist Pliny. Okay, and here the organisms are classified depending on their habits, means they are present in land or they are present in air or water, and like this. And also on the basis of the flying ability, animals are divided into two categories: animals which can fly and animals which cannot fly. But how we can differentiate between the birds and insect and bats, right? Because all of them can fly. So this type of classification is not the proper one, and it is not used now, it is obsolete now. Next is the natural system of classification. So it includes not only the external characters, means not only the morphological characters which we can see from outside, but it also includes some internal features like the ultrastructure, the anatomy, including morphology and cytochemistry, means what is the structure of the cell, which components are present inside the cell and all. And this is proposed by the scientist John Ray. And the next system and the most important system which is used now, that is the phylogenetic system of classification. Okay, so the evolutionary history of a particular species, that is known as phylogeny. Evolutionary history of a species is known as phylogeny. Okay, so the classification of all the organisms, all the living organism based on evolution, that is known as the phylogenetic classification or the evolutionary classification. Again, earlier one more concept is there, that is the three domain concept of life. So in that concept, scientists have divided all the organisms into three group or three categories, that is domain Archaea, domain Archaebacteria and domain Eubacteria. So let's see what are the characteristics of Archaebacteria or Archaea. So these are all the primitive organisms, means they are like the prokaryotic organisms. So their cell membrane is composed of glycerol and there is no peptidoglycan present in the cell. Their RNA is also very primitive type, rRNA is present there. Some organisms like methanogens, hyperthermophiles, so all these are the examples of the Archaebacteria. Next, what is the characters of the organisms of Eubacteria? So this their cell wall is made up of peptidoglycan and the cell membrane is composed of fatty acid, and they have the DNA molecule inside them, but the ribosome is 70S type. They are also not so much like eukaryotes, they are almost like the prokaryotes. And the examples of their mycoplasma, cyanobacteria, means the blue green algae, gram positive and gram negative bacteria, these are all the examples of eubacteria. And next one is that eukarya or the eukaryotes. So all the cells, they are the eukaryotic organisms. Their cell membrane is made up of the three layer protein, lipid and protein layer, and histone protein is there and the properly developed DNA is there. The ribosome is of 80S type. So eukarya is further divided into four groups or four kingdom. So kingdom Protista. Kingdom Protista means it include the protozoans and the algae and all. Next is kingdom Mycota. So kingdom Mycota includes some of the very small microscopic organisms like Phycomycetes, Ascomycetes and all. Next is kingdom Plantae. So it includes all different groups of plants, means bryophyte, pteridophytes, gymnosperm, angiosperm and all. And the last is that kingdom Animalia. So it includes all the animals. Now we are coming to the different grouping system of this biological classification, that is taxonomy, phylogeny and systematics. So first let's see what is taxonomy. So it is actually the process of classifying all the living organisms into different groups, means different taxa, and this process is known as taxonomy. Okay, so modern taxonomy includes the classification and study. Not only the classification, it includes the classification and the study of different kind of characteristics. Okay, so it includes all the internal and external characters, means the morphological characters, cell structure, what are the physiological characteristics, which molecules are present, which proteins are present, what is the structure of their chromosome, what is their ecological features, means in which habitat they are present. So they include all these characteristics to classify the organisms. And they also study the similarities and the differences between the group of organisms. So all this process is known as taxonomy. Next is phylogeny. So as you know, the evolutionary history of a particular species is called the phylogeny. That means the classification is based on the evolutionary relationship. Okay. And the next one is systematics. So it is a branch of biology that deals with the diversity of organism and their comparative study, means it is the similarities and dissimilarities between two groups or between various groups or between two different species, and also their evolutionary relationship, how the species have developed from the earlier one to the new one, means why some characters are changed due to the adaptation, due to their habitat change, due to loss of their food resources and all. Systematics is of two types: classical systematics, okay, and the new systematics. So the classical systematics was proposed by Lamarck, and in this classical systematics, the individuals of the species, that means the scientists think that the individual of the species, they are independent and no such changes occur, but actually due to evolutionary process there is obviously some changes is occurring continuously, right? And in classical systematic, they are depending mainly on the morphological features, mainly on the morphological characters, but they are not considering the genetical characters and the evolutionary relationship. But the new systematics, which was proposed by the scientist Huxley in 1940, so he includes all the characteristics, all types of characteristics, means it can be cytological characteristics, means the cellular characters, what kind of cells are present there, what kind of physiology is that organism or the group of organisms is having, which kind of proteins and different kinds of molecules are present there, what is their ecology, what is the interaction of this species with their environment, what is their habitat, what is their feeding habitat, and also they are including all the genetical characters, means what is the sequence of their DNA, which kind of genes are present in their DNA, and all.